let's do a full setup tour of my beautiful 2001 Troop carrier. The reason why I'm mainly posting this video itself is because I did a little poll on my Instagram, which is 78 series. I'll put it in the description if you guys would like to follow that one. I post like pretty much the car itself, where I've been, and little reels of places I guess as well. But yeah, pretty much I did a poll and I said what would you guys rather see in my next YouTube video, and the most votes got a rig tour and the reason why I wanted to travel Australia. So I'm going to try and cover as much as I can of my rig itself today, but I didn't actually buy this rig stock. Obviously it's an old girl, so yeah, pretty much all the work that's on this car is how I bought it, which I'm very thankful for. And yeah, I'll try and show you as much as I can of the build and the inside and just everything that it has on it, I guess. And then I will talk about, yeah, what made me want to travel Australia. I'll just start from out here. So I have the 22nd awning, which honestly it's really handy, come with the car, and it is a little bit on the older side, but works a treat. And I haven't had too much of a drama with it yet, apart from like trying to pack it up, and it is an absolute struggle by myself. So I bought a little step because it's almost like a two-person job, but at the moment I'm making it work with just me. My car came with the ARB bull bar and the Safari snorkel. I know this video probably looks a little bit dark and gloomy. That's because it is on the east coast. I'm at Rainbow Beach at the moment and it's currently spitting, so let's hope I don't get rained on. Let's pray. But I'll take you for a little squiz behind my driver's seat at my 500 watt inverter. So this is pretty much where I charge all of my belongings, I guess, which is hooked up to my solar, which sits on top of my little box up there. I suppose you could say 500 watt isn't a lot, but it does the job for me and I make it work. I have a little lady watching me. But here I have my shower awning. I haven't actually used it much on the road as I've been staying at Kaymar parks and it hasn't really come in handy, but Dutchie is really good. It comes with like a little solar light in it as well, which I must say is very handy. I did get a little bit distracted. That lady ended up coming to talk to me. Very random, but nice people, I guess. I do have an air compressor that sits behind my driver's seat as well, which I use to like deflate and inflate my tires. And then, shut my door because it's actually spitting. I have a crash pad which has my rubbish in it and my cans that I'm gonna use the 10 cents for my washing. Like saved up cans, obviously. So here we are at the back of the rig. There's a lot going on here, so bear with me. We'll start with this barn door. I literally just flipped this table up, but table here, random stuff here. Everything's a mess at the moment as I've honestly just moved into this car. Here we have my shower, which will hook up to my on tap product water thing here. Really handy these. I definitely recommend one of these as well as my diesel. But yeah, that's all for this side. There's not really much going on. And on this barn door we have all of my self-care stuff and a bunch of other random stuff. In here I actually use Seal It, and I seal all of my groceries and stuff as I don't have a freezer in my fridge, which another controversial thing, but do with what I have. Oh, my sink. I have my little sink here with my shower stuff as well. Turns on here, my sink, and my little hose for my sink is just here. As well as my water bladder, which sits on this side of my bed. I'm actually not quite aware of how many of how many litres is in my water bladder, but it's not for me, and if I'm not using it often, I'm not too worried. This is actually my pantry in here, which I'll pull out for you guys. All of my food pretty much sits in here, and then we have cutlery, plates, bowls, you know, all that fun stuff. Bear with me. And my gas cooker usually sits here, but it's on the other side, which I'll show you in a second. A little bit of storage under here to store my salty aura mat, which is very handy, by the way. Look at it, it's huge. Anyway, so this is where I do my cooking on my 4x4 Mission Max Trax table. Defs recommend one of these. I have the Kaymar rear bar. I purchased this maybe like a year or two, nah, not 2 years ago, like maybe a year ago. It's honestly a really good bar, bit spenny, but you know, has everything that I need. So while I've been traveling at the moment, my passenger seat has honestly just been my storage seat. I won't even lie to you guys. I do lack a lot of room for space, so this area is kind of like, just chuck everything in here, to be honest. But I have a little storage compartment up here. Very handy, to be honest. I put like all my documents, maps, bags for like groceries and stuff up in here, and yeah, it's very, very handy. Quick little snapshot of my bed with storage beside, underneath and on top. This is currently what I have on my roof. So my solar, my box has just like my oil pan, straps, water, just spare shit in it at the moment, and then obviously my surfboard, and then I have a ladder that sits at the back, and that's pretty much all that my roof holds. And sorry, I can't get into like too much of an in-depth tour of the Troopy itself, of the inside, as I am living in it, and I can't like really just pull out all my bedding and pull out like all the drawers and stuff to show you guys, but there is tons of storage which is already full. But yeah, maybe like when I'm like stopped for a little bit and working along the road, I can do all that and do like a whole like tour or like Q&A or whatever, and answer more questions for you guys. But for now, let's talk about where I got my inspiration from, to inspiration or just, you know, the fulfillment of actually doing a lap of Australia, especially solo. So my nana had actually done a lap of Australia in a Winnebago with her partner. I'm not quite sure on dates or years, but I know that she did it, and I'm sure she thoroughly enjoyed it, because so many pictures, so many memories, so many like you know, times we would be with her and she would talk about it. So there's probably like my number one. Number two, not gonna lie, I wasn't like the most academic kid in school. I always struggled with learning, and maybe like math and English wasn't really my strong suit. I was really into like athletics in high school, so that's where I enjoyed school ball and high school. But once it comes to like grade 12, I really didn't know like what career option I wanted, and like school finished, I was working at Coles in a deli, and applying for jobs pretty much everywhere, and then I landed a 3-year horticultural apprenticeship, which I had stuck out, and I completed it start of this year, January. And in my first year of working as an apprentice, I bought the Troopy, and since then I had been doing lots of overtime because I worked at a port, and we pretty much tied up the fuel ships and like the grain and all that sort of stuff. And I did loads of overtime and saving heaps of money to get to this point of traveling Australia. And throughout those 3 years, it was honestly a hurdle of like, do I even want to travel Australia, and like, how am I actually going to do this? But here I am literally living on the road in my car. And honestly, people might think that solo traveling is like lonely and you're like bored with yourself, and I don't know, it might be hard, but it's definitely hard. It definitely comes with its perks, but it's honestly the best thing I've done, chucking myself in the deep end for someone that is so like family orientated and like just, you know, loves being with their family. This is honestly like the hardest thing I've done, and I shed so many tears leaving, but now that I'm here and I'm doing it, I feel like it's the best thing that I've ever done. And it just gets easier as the days go by, and traveling Australia is probably like the best thing I could have decided to do for myself. When I like want to finish my lap, I have no idea what career I'll go into, but I'm thinking more like a diesel, like maybe like a mechanical job, like diesel fitter, or you know, just a normal like mechanic that works on cars, or a plumber. I'm not quite sure, but those things really interest me, so I don't know, I'll see where time goes and where I end up in the next 6 to 12 months. And at this point in time, I plan to just do a full lap of Australia, and like maybe Tasmania in 2027. I'm thinking maybe January, February, do like a whole thing of Tassie, which I'm so excited for. Tassie is so beautiful from like all the photos that I've seen, and I actually went there not too long ago when my dad was living there for a little while, but even then it was so beautiful. So hopefully I get to film something next year for Tassie. So I suppose that's it for today. I'll try and film a bunch more content for you guys as I continue to move down the East Coast. But yeah, I'm so beyond thankful for all the help that I've had for building this Troopy and getting it from where it has been to where it is now. And yeah, from getting all the rust cut out to doing so much work, I'm so thankful for like all the help. But yeah, if you have any video suggestions for me, or any ideas or any tips, literally anything, comment them below and I'll reply to whatever you guys have to say. But thank you for all the little likes and subscribers on my last post. I'm so thankful. But yeah, bye guys.